begun.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of JB versus the World. It's your boy JB, strongest guy in the room. Well, I'm the only guy in the room right now, and I'm here today to talk about Mortal Kombat II. This is your review. This is your review. Everything you want to know about it. If you have any questions, you want to talk about it, drop them down in the section below. Let's talk about it. And without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so Mortal Kombat 2 immediately picks up where the last one left off, where we have an opening amongst the Earthrealm forces after Shao Kahn and them cheated in the previous movie. And they recruit movie star Johnny Cage to join their ranks. And then the actual tournament begins. And all the chicanery and the foolery begins. Now, how's we're going to do this review is typically how I normally do my reviews, where I will be going over the things I liked, thumbs up, thumbs down, acting, characters, all that stuff in between. If you want to talk about something in between, drop it down below and we'll talk about it. All right? All right. So let's get right into it. All right. So first things first, the acting. Did I like the acting? You know what? I'm going to give it a solid pass on the acting. I'm not going to hold you because, it's not nothing to write home about. It's not something that you're going to be like, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. But you know what? It didn't have to be. It was serviceable. Everybody did their job. There was nobody that really felt out of place. There was nobody that I felt like, God, they can't act, except for that guy who plays Shao Kahn. I forget his name. He was my only complaint as far as the acting is concerned because, just being fair, that's just what my thoughts were on him. But yeah, I thought the acting was relatively fine, and for that, I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. A tentative thumbs up because you don't come from Mortal Kombat for that. But what you do come for are the characters, and as far as the characters are concerned, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I like these characters. I was very much mixed. I'm gonna start with Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. I was very much mixed on this, very much mixed on him, because I'm like, well, Johnny Cage is typically somewhere in his 20s, 30s, somewhere in between, and he's clearly playing a guy in his 40s or older. Carl Urban is, and it's a different take on Johnny Cage. This version of Johnny Cage, he's a washed up actor. He's had his time in the sun, and sun's getting low, big guy. He's at conventions, getting autographs on his old movies and stuff, and just kind of winging it. You know what I'm saying? His glory days are behind him, and he's kind of down on himself because of it. And his journey in this movie is about restoring his confidence, and that's very far from the typical Johnny Cage that we ever see in Mortal Kombat in any iteration. Johnny's usually confident, arrogant, even self-important, and you can't tell him much of anything. But this version of Johnny Cage was very much somber and having to rediscover himself, and that worked for him throughout the movie. Another character I want to spotlight I liked was Katana. We know that Katana's realm was one of the last ones taken over by Shao Kahn, one before the Earthrealm invasion or the attempted Earthrealm invasion in Mortal Kombat. And we get to see her point of view, and her friendship with Jade, and her conspiring against Shao Kahn. She never gave up the fight, even though her realm, Edenia, had lost. So that was always cool to see. Of course, I like the returning characters as well. Ludi Lin as Liu Kang. Liu Kang is like a favorite of mine, and to see Liu Kang progressed, more confident, more sure of himself in this film. Same with Jax. I really enjoyed them. If there's any character I wasn't really high on, I didn't like Cole from the first film. I didn't like Cole in this film. I'm glad that they reduced his role, because who is this guy and why are you trying to make me like him? with his DEI vibranium armor. I do not like that guy. So I'm glad they reduced his role. Um, they had Queen Sindel in this one, and she was just kind of just there, not really high on that. Kano, I'm gonna talk about Kano later, but that guy, Kano, aces in this movie. But to get back to the point, thumbs up, thumbs down, I'm gonna give a thumbs up to the characters in this movie. I didn't change the thing. Oh God, that's on me. There it is. Thumbs up, thumbs down on the characters. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up on the characters. So, talked about the action. Talked about the acting. Talked about the characters. Now let's talk about the action, because this is the thing that we're all here for with Mortal Kombat. This is the thing that brings us all to the dance. Was the action in this movie any good? And I gotta tell you, yes, this action was good. Um, for the most part, anyway. There were really good fights in this movie. I think all of them were really good fights, really well done, really well choreographed. And for some of them, there were too many jump cuts, too many CGI, and there was another aspect of some fights that didn't necessarily sit well with me. Try as I might, didn't necessarily sit well with me. But I did enjoy the action overall in this movie. It's not a thumbs up, it's not a thumbs down. It just is what it is. Because I do like me some fighting in Mortal Kombat. That's what we're all here for, right? You know, test your might and all that whatnot. All right. So going up next, let's talk about the plot. And I think the plot here might have been the biggest improvement from the first one in a lot of ways. The first one was very Cole centric, and it was before the tournament, and we didn't really get a lot of extra beyond Cole's family and what was going on here. And in this movie, we get the actual tournament. And listen, I it was okay. I thought the tournament itself was okay, but the real bread and butter behind this movie was everything that was going on behind the scenes. Because of course, Shao Kahn and them stay cheating, stay trying to change the lines. It's almost like they gerrymandering the tournament itself. If you know, you know. So, like certain combatants get eliminated early in the tournament, but they still have a plot to play. Still have a very integral plot to play in the story. So, shout out to you know to them for putting that in the story. Yes, the action is definitely great. It is definitely a must see. And then let's see here. I got another comment from my boy Sean. He said, "Bro, I see what they tried to do, and that was make a movie depiction of MK9. The story never made sense if you're a lifelong gamer like me." I'm not going to say that last part yet out loud in case somebody's listening. Um, but yeah, it seems like with that they were trying to do kind of MK9 ish, except without the Raiden flashback and Raiden kind of operating in that fear. Um, but I thought it was solid. I don't come to these movies to kind of like get the best plot imaginable. I want to see action. I just want to see something that makes sense coherently. And for the most part, I felt like we got that. Tournament rolls on. Outworld was cheating as they do, and can the good guys thwart them? That's the plot. That's all I really come here for. And for that, again, I don't need it to change my life. I don't need it to do anything more than than that. So forget. I'll give a thumbs up for a plot because yeah, that last one sucked. That bar was in hell. So there's that. All right. So next up would be my personal enjoyment for the film. And let me change this. All right. Thumbs up, thumbs down, my personal enjoyment. I had fun with this film. I truly did. And this is just based off of everything that they did with the film and the action, and I laughed. I had some some laugh out loud belly aching moments that I'll talk about here in a moment. But I had a lot of fun with this movie. I'll just turn my brain off, just saw what was going on. And by the end of it, I was like, wow, there's a couple things I was kind of iffy about. And I'll get on that in a second, especially for it being Mortal Kombat. But for the most part, I walked out of that theater thinking, wow, I had myself a good time. And, I feel like this is a film that should be, you know, enjoyed and should be supported in theaters. I feel like people should be going to see this in theaters and show these movie companies that we as an audience like this and we want more of it. And I'm gonna rip from my buddy over on the Content Bebop. They listen to us between movies. Like it's pretty evident that between this movie and the last one, they took our feedback, they heard some of the things we're saying, and they implemented to make a better movie. So even though this is not perfect by any stretch, there was a lot of care that went into this. So because there was a lot of care into this, and I can tell, it also boosted my level of enjoyment. So for sure, I enjoyed this movie. So if you want that recommendation on me, that's it. Now, if you're here for a long time on my previous movies, my previous reviews, then usually about 10, 15 minutes, I'm out of it. But we're here to talk, you know what I'm saying? We're here to talk a little bit more and to get to the nitty gritty about all this. I did promise y'all that I would tell you everything I liked and didn't like, and we'll get there. But yeah, just my overall thoughts. Overall thoughts, it's fine. Uh, the characters need to do what they need to do. Action was good. Not the best plot in the world. Didn't have to be. There's that. So if you want my overall thoughts, go see Mortal Kombat 2. It's fun. Turn your brain off. Watch people beat each other up. Get a couple of good laughs in between time. And have yourself a time. That's it. Beginning, middle, and end on Mortal Kombat 2 in that regard. Now, let's dive a little deeper. And this is your warning. Everything from here on out is a spoiler. So if you're not familiar, you're not prepared, let's talk about it. Come back later if you're not. Overall, what I liked and what I hated. We're going to dive deep here. And what I liked and what I didn't like, love the fights. Straight up, the fight between Kung Lao and Liu Kang was the shit to me. It was well choreographed. It was well done. The fight in the throne room between Liu Kang, Sonya Jax against Shao Kahn was dope. Although I didn't like how that ended with, and I'm going to say this now, like if you're not here, this is spoiler part. I'm not a fan of Jax dying. I support everybody black. But I'm not a fan of Jax dying, so that one kind of took it away from me. But it was kind of obvious that when they got to that throne room, that somebody was going to have to pay the price. And I was kind of sad it was my boy. So that kind of sucked. Um, I thought Sonya versus Sindel was a nothing fight. Probably the worst fight of the entire movie, which isn't really saying too much. The Noob Saibot versus Scorpion fight was okay. I enjoy Hiroyuki Sanada as an actor. I think he's fantastic. I think anything he touches is good. But Scorpion being that old objectively doesn't really sit well with me because of his age, because a lot of the things that Scorpion can do, like a lot of the stunts and a lot of the athletics and a lot of the ninja movements that we're accustomed to seeing Scorpion do, Hiroyuki cannot do at the age he's in. He's kind of more of a samurai type deal. And that doesn't and Noob Saibot coming back from the dead and kind of just being used as part of the plot as he was. Um, it felt like a pull. I know it's part of the lore, the way it happens with Bihan coming back as Noob, but it felt like a bit of a pull, the way that they did it. I'm not going to really harp on that too much because we need to get to that and we had to deal with that. Also, Shinnok's amulet. was the MacGuffin of the film. And MacGuffins in films are kind of hit and miss for me. MacGuffins kind of have to be done well, and just the whole slicing of Raiden's throat and stealing his essence and to power Shinnok's amulet. I know Shinnok's amulet was more of a big deal in the games and how they handled it, and they just kind of just it felt shoehorned here, and the amulet felt less important here as it did in the games. So yeah, let's see here. Well, Sean says we got 5 minutes of noob. Yeah, we did, and I wasn't necessarily. I mean, the fight was okay. The fight was okay. Him protecting the MacGuffin, and then Johnny being the one to break it with a shadow kick. I did enjoy the shadow kick. I popped for that in the theaters. um, just the whole Johnny's origin story and why he's important and why he was recruited and why he was able to do that. I felt like something that should have talked about or alluded to his lineage, because him being able to destroy the amulet and him having his powers, that is an important plot point, not just to the Mortal Kombat storyline and games and in other materials, but to his character as well. So them leaving that off was just kind of just okay. But overall, like the fights were pretty dope. Aside from that, um, I love Baraka. I love Baraka in this film. Started off terrifying, ended up being one of my favorite characters in this film. He is genuinely funny. I laughed out loud several times at his antics. His surprising admiration, stewardship, going under the wing of Johnny Cage was genuinely hilarious. Baraka was amazing. That fight scene between him and Johnny is also one of the better fights in this movie. I believe there were 10 fights in this movie, and it's somewhere in my top four for sure. They made him deadly, and then they knew when to turn him down. And just him and the other members of his tribe after the movie sitting around the campfire listening to Johnny talk about the tale of what happened, even though he was lying, was hilarious. I cannot stress enough. Baraka made me laugh several times over the course of this movie. Low key, one of my MVPs. But my true MVP was Kano. I almost let out a laugh almost every time this man was on screen. Every time Kano was involved in something, I was almost belly aching. Whether it's him getting a new eye or him trying to switch sides at the end, and him giving his reasonings why he was switching sides, and the fact that he got revived as a full human as a revenant because he's basically soulless already. This guy had me laughing the whole movie. I need more Kano in my Mortal Kombat. Let's see here. Johnny always lying. He lied about his age all the time. You're right. Let's see here. What else did my boy Sean say? Quan Chi was probably the only true character, but they also made him look weak. You know what? Yeah, I was going to get to that. They definitely made Quan Chi look weak over the course of this film. And yeah, he was kind of easily made to be caught, easily made to be a servant. And, if you're familiar with the games, Quan Chi is really like that. Quan Chi is really like that. And between him and Shang Tsung, like they took down Liu Kang, no diff, in the original Mortal Kombat timeline, and Liu Kang was literally undefeated for 4 games. If Liu Kang was on the scene, Liu Kang won, and Quan Chi, like, was half of the reason why Liu Kang died in that timeline. And right here, he was just a sorcerer, not much. Let's see here. My boy JT Marks with Mikes, El Jefe of Culture Clash Network. What's my rate for the movie? I gave the movie a thumbs up. I'm definitely giving the movie a thumbs up. Just go see it. Turn your brain off. Don't delve too deeply. Don't think about anything about like how serious it is or how unserious it is. Just turn your brain off, enjoy the action, and have yourself a time. Let's see here. Who else is in the comment section below? My sister Nova Kane with Society Pop Culture 101. How you doing, sis? She's here as promised, and she's here on mute because she hasn't seen the movie yet. I love you, sis. Thank you for coming through. That's funny. Yeah, man. Let's see here. Something else I loved about the movie. Something else I enjoyed. They got Cole the fuck up out of there. I'm so glad that this guy had a smashing exit in this movie. I did not like him in the first movie. I didn't see a point of having a new made up character who's supposed to be related to Scorpion. That don't move me. Okay? That don't move me. You got to give me a reason to be moved. And I was sturdy at Cole, unmoved, rigid even. But I wasn't the only one. I know people had a lot of complaints about Cole. And in his first fight, they got him up out of here. Thank you, writers, for listening to us. Thank you so much for listening to us because I could not stand this guy. All right. What I didn't like about this movie, I didn't like Shao Kahn. If you like this movie, if you like Shao Kahn, I'm sorry, but you got to hear me out on this. Hold on, my boy Sean say before I get into this. Don't beat me when y'all watch it, but I'll do the same for Street Fighter if I don't like it. You know what? Street Fighter is a different beast, but the same animal. I have no idea what we're going to get with that. And I think Street Fighter is either going to be really good or really bad, but there's a possibility it could be so bad that it's good. Oh, my boy, JT say. Thank God he made no sense. I ain't never seen him shooting in the gym. Who is Cole? Who is Cole? Why should we care? Why should we care about Cole Young? They gave us a whole movie. Oh, what about him and his daughter? Dude, Dre from Power had a daughter. I didn't care about him neither, nor his daughter. We love the kids around here though. No Epstein. Anyways, back to my rant about this guy. I thought Shao Kahn was way too vulnerable in this movie, and I didn't like it. Shao Kahn is supposed to be depicted as this unstoppable force, this unmovable object, and my God, if it wasn't for the literal MacGuffin in his chest, he would have been bodied at least 3 times. Cole would have beat him. Liu Kang would have beat him. Like Jax, Sonya, and Liu Kang had him beat as well. Like this is somebody who's supposed to be like the king. He got his sledgehammer. You know what I'm saying? Trying to play the game. You know what I'm saying? Triple H had that, and he just seemed vulnerable. And I don't need that from my big bat. I'm glad he was involved. I'm glad he was in the field. I'm glad he was out there putting in work. But literally, a plot device saved him. And I just couldn't get jiggy with that. I'm not sure how y'all feel. I need my bad guys to feel a little bit more invincible, a little bit more vulnerable than just I'm big and I'm bad. And the act the guy did, I least convincing of anybody of the active cast and crew. And I'm sure he's not a very experienced actor by comparison to the rest of them. I just wasn't sold. I wasn't convinced. I wasn't like this guy is like compelling. And that's my rant on Shao Kahn. If you feel different, let me know. We could talk about it. And last but not least, as when it comes to the to what I didn't like, again, my boy over the content Bebop shares my sentiments on this. We saw the movie together last weekend at a screening. Who was the main character of this film? And I think that's one of the biggest questions I got. going into it. It started off like it was going to be Johnny Cage. Well, actually, it started like it seemed like it was going to be Katana. Then it was maybe it was going to be Johnny Cage, and then as we got to talk to Liu Kang, and then it was like, is it one of them? Is it him? Is it Sonya? Is that the relationship? Is Sonya in the mix? Like, who was the main character of this film? And we didn't ever got a definitive answer. And I think that kind of affected a way I felt about the plot overall as well, because I didn't know who was doing what. Let's see here. What did my boy Sean say? The Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat Annihilation was better. Sir, you are wiling. The Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat Annihilation was better is a wild statement. And the sad part is you might be cooking. You might be cooking. I'm listen. 9-year-old me saw Mortal Kombat Annihilation in theaters and was like, "This was a bad movie." Like 9-year-old me saw Mortal Kombat Annihilation in theaters and I was like, "This is trash. This is garbage. This is a hot mess." Um, and I was at that age. I enjoyed everything at that age. I enjoyed everything at that age, and I knew that movie was trash. I hated that Shao Kahn. I hate that movie. And there's like a narrative going around like on social media right now where people are trying to romanticize that movie. No, stop it. That movie sucked. And I'm not gonna let y'all sit up here and tell me that Mortal Kombat Annihilation was anything less than the hot garbage that it was. But you know what else I hate? I hate the girl boss narrative that's being spread around this movie. And maybe that's because it has to do with the fact that we don't know who the main character is in this film. Because people are looking at Katana. Katana is the one who ends up being the one to take down Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn. And in her taking down Shao Kahn, she takes her rightful place as queen. And in no iteration of Mortal Kombat has she ever been the one to take him down. In no iteration of Mortal Kombat has she ever been the one to 1v1 Shao Kahn. There have been attempts, but never any successes. And yeah, we could say it was the group effort with Johnny Cage taking out the amulet to make him vulnerable. But I mean, it shouldn't be that. First of all, like based on who Shao Kahn is supposed to be in the games, but based on this version of Shao Kahn, and that's all I could think. That's all I could speak of. This version of Shao Kahn with this version of Katana, I have no problems with the fact that she was the one that avenged her father and righted the wrong of the last Mortal Kombat, the previous Mortal Kombat in the story, rather. I have no problems with that. I don't think it's woke. I don't think it's a girl boss thing. I think she was just the one to be able to do it, and that's on that. And I'm so tired of the man hating woman narrative that comes with a lot of these things, especially in the nerdy spaces. Like, guys, women can kick ass too. Women can kick ass too, and it's okay. I promise you, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with a strong woman at all, at all. Speaking of which, another part of the narrative that I hated about this movie was the narrative that y'all painted up, like, not y'all, you know what I'm saying? But if it don't apply, let it fly. But those who spoke ill on Jade, you know what I'm saying, the actress, and how she has, a shortcut, and equivocating this with masculinity or less feminine. Listen, there is nothing wrong with a woman having a short haircut, and there was nothing less feminine about it. There's nothing less feminine about this woman right here. This woman did what she was supposed to do. Like, there was nothing he-manish about her. There was nothing masculine about her. She was a woman that was strong within herself, and there is nothing wrong with who she was and how she portrayed herself in this film. Point blank, period. And I will fight anybody who says different. Straight up. There is nothing wrong with the way this woman was. There is nothing wrong with the way she was portrayed. There is nothing wrong with Jade in this film at all. My suggestion to some of you is you get around a real woman, and you can fight me on that. Straight up. And also, like, just some of the narrative, another narrative that I saw around the interwebs is like this Twitter page that used the picture of Jade to perpetuate that the movie was projected not as well. The selling movie is not doing that well, but using the black woman's picture. To me, that's weak. To me, that's insulting. And to kind of bring this full circle on their other post in which they celebrated the movie and we're talking about the movie coming out, they had a picture of Carl Urban's Johnny Cage. So when it's doing well, you got a picture of Carl Urban. But when it's doing bad, projected to do bad, you use this picture. That's crap. That's crap. And I don't like it. So, to Cosmic Book News,
this is a sick Negro.
I don't like it. I don't like it not one bit. And now that that's done, my last little bit before we get up out of here. What are my overall thoughts? I mean, well, excuse me, not my overall thoughts. I already did that already. What do I want to see in Mortal Kombat 3? By the end of Mortal Kombat 2, a lot of the Earth Special Forces are dead. Jax is gone. Liu Kang is gone. Kung Lao is, well, he died in the first movie. He came back as Revenant and then he's gone again. So I'm not sure. They got Quan Chi on their side. Kano has switched sides, and now they're talking about resurrecting their friends, which is cool. I want to know what happened to Liu Kang. I want to know what happened to Liu Kang because even though he died, he didn't. There was no body. He just kind of just turned into energy and disappeared. I'm not sure what that was about. I'm not sure what that was heading toward, but I don't know. If they're gonna try and do like Fire God, Liu Kang, or anything of the sort, then cool. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Um, they have Quan Chi captured, and based on going back to what my boy Sean said, they got Quan Chi looking like a punk. Quan Chi is that guy. Like I said, he's really like that, and they got him just shackled up in chains. I don't like that. So yeah, whatever. Fix that. I'm not sure who the main villain is going to be. It seems like they might be heading towards Shinnok. Shang Tsung is out there. Quan Chi could really break loose and become a factor. So we'll see about that as well. I want to see more fights. I want to see more warriors from the games be implemented into this game. I want to see Sub-Zero, like the younger brother. I want to see some more of the Lin Kuei and the Shirai Ryu get involved. I want to see actual invasion because I think that's all that's really left for them to do. The tournament's over and they lost. So I want to see like the invasion where all hell breaks loose and you just see a whole bunch of craziness and fights all over the place and you see like a coalition of Earth's forces get together. That's what I want to see for Mortal Kombat 3. And with that, that is my review. Thank you for being here. If you are still here, I want to remind you all to like, share, subscribe, all that other stuff. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this. This is still very new to me. This is the first time I've ever done a review like this, flying solo. So if you like what I did, drop a comment below and let me know how you think I did. Or if you know me personally, just say, hey, man, you did this well. You didn't do that well. And I will heed your advice because I want to be better at this for you all. So, what comes next? Well, so many so many shows are like wrapping up, and it's so much happening. As of this recording, Gundam Hathaway comes out tomorrow. The Mandalorian Grogu comes out next week. The Boys ends next week. Small Shadow Lord ended last week. So, and Punisher One Shot came out yesterday. So there's a whole lot of stuff that we have to talk about soon. Let me know what you are interested in me talking about, and we will get to it as soon as we can. I appreciate you all for being here. Um, be here next Wednesday, 8:30. We're going to be talking about The Boys. Straight up. We're going to be talking about The Boys. The show ends, and we're geared up for an explosive finale next week. Like, it's going to be crazy. RIP to my dog who left us in the show this week. But yeah, man. I might have said too much of that one. But yeah, take care of yourselves and each other. Stay black for the plies. If you're not black, then I love you anyway. All right, that's it, y'all. That's it for me. Until next time.